What's up, y'all? You're watching Union Minded. I'm your host, Eric, and today we're going to talk about the threatening strike that looms large. If a deal is not reached by midnight tonight, the longshoremen that control all of the shipping containers up and down the East Coast and down into the Gulf, those guys control about 63% of the goods that are brought in, consumable goods and auto parts and all this stuff. They're set to go on strike if the shipping companies don't pay their fair share. And this looms large because this is a strike, unlike most strikes. If this one is prolonged, you're going to feel it. And it's important that you get mad at the right people. Don't get mad at the working man who's demanding a fair share of the stake of the claims of the profits that their labor and their sweat make. Get mad at the greedy owners that sit there and hoard all the profits and just want bigger and bigger boats and larger portfolios, making money that they and their family can never spend in a lifetime, just to keep us broken on our backs and working the cogs. It's not a fair game that we play. And the ones that are greedy owners, you got to strike them because they're not fair. So let's dive in. And when, like I said, when you start to feel the pain of this strike, remember who to get mad at. Remember who to criticize and who to look at. Look up. It's not the workers. Let's dive in. This is from the AP News source. With strike looming, progress is reported in talks between Eastern and Gulf ports and dock workers. This is updated at 7:20, so not very long ago. With a strike deadline looming, the union for 45,000 dock workers and the group representing East and Gulf Coast ports have exchanged wage offers, leaving a ray of hope that a deal can be reached without a major work stoppage. In a statement, the U.S. Maritime Alliance, which represents 36 ports from Maine to Texas, said that both sides have moved from their previous positions. The alliance said it also asked the union to extend the current contract. The International Longshoremen's Association is threatening to strike at 12:01 a.m. Tuesday in a move that could silence ports that handle about half the ship cargo coming in and going out of the U.S. A message was left Monday evening seeking comment from the union. We are hopeful that this could allow us to fully resume collective bargaining around the other outstanding issues in an effort to reach an agreement, the alliance statement said. The alliance said its latest offer would increase wages by nearly 50% over the 6-year contract and triple employer contributions to retirement plans. The offer would also strengthen healthcare options and keep current language that limits automation. The union has demanded 77% pay raises over 6 years to help deal with inflation. Many of the ILA workers can make over $200,000 per year, but the union says they must work large amounts of overtime to reach that figure. The two sides had not held formal negotiations since June, and a strike appeared imminent. In a statement Monday morning, the union said the ports had refused its demands for a fair contract, and the alliance seemed intent on a strike. The alliance has said it was willing to bargain. A work stoppage would significantly snarl the nation's supply chain, potentially leading to higher prices and delays in goods reaching households and businesses if it drags on for weeks. If drawn out, the strike would force businesses to pay shippers for delays and cause some goods to arrive late for peak holiday shopping season, potentially impacting delivery of anything from toys or artificial Christmas trees to cars, coffee, and fruit. A strike could have an almost immediate impact on supplies of perishable imports, like bananas, for example. The ports that could be affected by the strike handle 3.8 million metric tons of bananas each year, or 75% of the nation's supply, according to the American Farm Bureau Federation. Americans could also face higher prices as retailers feel the supply squeeze. If the strikes go ahead, they will cause enormous delays across the supply chain, a ripple effect which will no doubt roll into 2025 and cause chaos across the industry, noted Jay Dokia, founder of supply chain management and logistics firm Pro 3PL. Dokia added that East Coast ports aren't the only ones at risk for disruption, as concern leading up to the strike has already diverted many shipments out west, adding to route congestion and more pressure on demand. Impacts will also be felt internationally, particularly in places like the United Kingdom, he said, where the U.S. is its largest trading partner. In addition to higher wages, ILA members want a total ban on the automation of cranes, gates, and container-moving trucks used in the loading or unloading of freight. A strike by the ILA workers, set to impact ports from Maine to Texas, would be the first by the union since 1977. West Coast dock workers belong to a different union and aren't involved in the strike. If a strike were deemed a danger to U.S. economic health, President Biden could, under the Taft-Hartley Act, seek a court order for an 80-day cooling-off period. That would suspend the strike. Just weeks ahead of a tight presidential election, Biden has signaled that he will not exercise this power during an exchange with reporters on Sunday. Biden said no when asked if he planned to intervene in the potential work stoppage. A White House official said that at Biden's direction, the administration has been in regular communication with the ILA and the alliance to keep the negotiating moving forward. The president, director, chief of staff Jeff Zients, and National Economic Council director Lael Brainard to convene the alliance board members Monday afternoon and urge them to resolve the dispute fairly and quickly in a way that accounts for the success of shipping companies in recent years and contributions of union workers. So that's the story from the news. Let's go to the ILA website and read what they got to say on their update from this morning. The International Longshoremen's Association reports that United States Maritime Alliance continues to block a path toward a settlement on a new contract by refusing ILA's demands for a fair and decent contract, and seems intent on causing a strike at all ports from Maine to Texas, beginning in almost 12 hours. The ocean carriers represented by USMX want to enjoy rich billion-dollar profits that they are making in 2024, while they offer ILA longshore workers an unacceptable wage package that we reject, the ILA said. ILA longshore workers deserve to be compensated for the important work they do, keeping American commerce moving and growing. It's disgraceful that most of these foreign-owned shipping companies are engaged in a make-and-take operation. They want to make their billion-dollar profits at the United States ports and off the backs of American ILA longshore workers, and take those earnings out of this country and into the pockets of foreign conglomerates. Meanwhile, ILA dedicated longshore workers continue to be crippled by inflation due to USMX's unfair wage package. In addition, the shippers are gouging their customers that result in increased costs to American consumers. They're now charging $30,000 for a full container, a whopping increase from $6,000 per container just a few weeks ago. That's called greedflation. In just a short time, they went from $6,000 to $18,000, then $24,000, and now they're going to $30,000. It's unheard of, and they are doubling their $30,000 fee, stuffing the same container from multiple shippers. They are killing the customers. The ILA will continue to update the media as information becomes available. The ILA will not engage in one-on-one interviews today, Monday, September 30th, 2024. So as you can see, it is a very troubling situation. And here you have shipping companies that have increased their prices from $6,000 up to $30,000, and they're sitting here worried about paying the wages that these workers demand that they need in order to live a comfortable life and do the work that they do with dignity. You got to break bread. I stand with the workers. Longshoreman, this IBEW brother here stands with you. My name's Eric. You're watching Union Minded. Remember that the fight is not left and right. It's up and down, and it's going to take solidarity to win always. Remember that this union can't be a union without you and I front and center. So let's get it. Peace.